Day 25, Cooperstown, North Dakota. So this day turned out to be one of the more profound of the whole trip, and you'll shortly see why. First, I stopped by the tallest structure in the Western Hemisphere, which is a TV tower that broadcasts over the area of about 10,000 square miles. The tower itself is a little over 2,000 feet, and until the Burj Khalifa skyscraper was completed in Dubai, it was actually the tallest structure in the world. And that thing is huge, and because you're driving towards it over flat landscape, you could see it from like 15 miles away. And now to the main part. They say that the best way to get over your fear is to confront it. So on that day, I got to confront one of my biggest fears. I remember as a kid growing up in the Soviet Union during the last stages of the Cold War, there were literally nights where I couldn't fall asleep because I was afraid that Americans are gonna nuke us. And the funniest thing is that any American my age or older that I told this to looked at me like I was crazy, and they told me, no, we couldn't fall asleep because you were about to nuke us. So not far from Cooperstown, North Dakota, I got to visit a decommissioned nuclear command and control center and a missile silo, one of dozens of such complexes that were spread out all over the western and midwestern United States. Now, all of them pretty much had the same structure. There was a command and control bunker, and then in the radius of 10 to 20 miles, a bunch of missile silos. And it was the most surreal feeling because above ground everything was very mundane. A game room, a dining room with a menu, place to hang your uniforms and to leave your autograph when you finish your service. And then you get to the little security station. Incidentally, local kids for entertainment used to throw raccoons over the fences of the silo complexes to set off the sensors and see how soon the military would get there to find out what's going on. And you swipe your card through a special door, and only the two officers on duty in the bunker can go through. If any one of them acts or looks suspicious, he is detained on the spot and sent back to the Air Force Base in Grand Forks for a psychiatric examination. And then you get in the elevator and go down 60 feet into the two bunkers, each one protected by 3-foot thick blast doors. One bunker houses the backup equipment and the generator, and it's suspended from the ceiling on a fake floor about 6 feet off the ground so that it can withstand an almost direct nuclear hit. And it also has supplies for the two officers in the bunker to last for about 30 days. And then there is a command and control center itself, a desk for the second officer and a desk for the first officer. And when the president pushes the red button that's in the little black briefcase that Secret Service carries around with him, this is what happens.
Okay.
So they would get that. They would receive a coded message that they would both quickly write down. They would then get into the red box here. Each one had their own lock and combination. They took these home with them at the end of their shift, back to base anyway. You had the authenticator books in here and the launch keys. So you sat down, strapped in with these seatbelts. You would enable the missiles via that panel over there. You'd go on a conference call to make sure everybody got the message within your squadron. Enter back over there. 3, 2, 1, mark. They would turn in them within 1.2 seconds of one another.
And then, boom! But the most important thing, they put on freaking seatbelts. Then I drove a couple of miles to the actual Minuteman missile silo, which is this small fenced area, and I always thought it was going to be in the middle of a cornfield, but it's actually in the middle of a beautiful sunflower field with farmhouses just a couple hundred feet away. They have a couple of exhibits and a bench, and I looked at it and I'm like, why the hell would somebody need a bench here? But then you walk around and you read the exhibits, and you look at the actual silo hatch, which weighs 100 tons, and it has rails so it can be opened and closed for maintenance. And for launching the missile, it would be blasted away at like 35 miles an hour. And you look at this little opening and you think about what was going to be unleashed from it on the world and what would the end result be. And then you realize that you really need to sit down and process it. So yes, I did get to confront that fear. And it's just amazing how ordinary and not threatening at all it looks from close up. I mean, with the farmhouses and with the sunflower fields. It is just mind-boggling to think that these people went to work every day with their game rooms and with their dining rooms, but it was their job to push the button that would end the world and themselves in it. And it's utterly chilling to think that a couple of times it all did come down to that. And the only thing that stood between all of us and total annihilation was that one person that in the end refused to press the button. I am very happy that so far we managed not to exterminate ourselves. And I'm just very, very hopeful that even with everything that's going on, we will be able to not do this.